Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're talking episode 10. Now this comes straight off the back of episode 9, which was recorded a few weeks ago with Chris Cormier over in Canada. There's been another episode filmed with someone over in Slovakia, Game in a Nutshell, so check out episode 11 in a week or so whenever that goes live. But we've listened to it, and funnily enough, both interviews were only 4 seconds difference in duration, 109 minutes point 26 to 109 minutes and 29 seconds. So let's go back to the last date and tell you what games I've played and obviously my thoughts about them. So going back to the 26th of October 2023, we're starting off with another game I've mentioned before, the Great British Quiz, which happened to win on this occasion. The Battle of Britain against Mike, which I also happened to take the lead. Now this happened to be the first game, this is the first contact. So Battle of Britain is the latest, well I guess General Order is the latest, but it's the final I guess so far of the Undaunted series. Now my videos for this will be going live soon, so obviously make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell over on YouTube. But this is set over I believe 11 scenarios, which is an interesting number. I haven't seen them that amount before, and it's very similar to the game X-Wing, whereby your planes are constantly moving. However, before they move, you can choose to do other things. You can choose to attack, then move, or in some cases you want to maneuver. However, you must move first. You've got to kind of build up that momentum before you move. And there are various objectives. There's various tiles that you can bring out, similar deck building elements whereby basically whittling down your deck if your opponent happens to get you. Again, it does involve dice rolls. But of course, if you want to see the full visual information, head through to watch that video. So aside from that, I also played a Ryan duel. Now Michelle happens to be doing very well against me on that one. I happen to have what's known as the Deluxe Edition. That's that first contact edition. You can see a video live for that now. It's an asymmetric game for 2 players whereby you have pretty much the same pieces, but you're either playing as yellow or blue, but whichever colour you play, these tiles, which are 1 to 3, I guess, areas in size, they're hexes that are connected or various shapes, which can be rotated and flipped, then they're generally going to be of your colour. And you're trying to either get across the other side of the board, or you are trying to get from your connections, one whole route of connections for 4 galaxies, or get your opponents through, again, 3 of their networks. So it has to be all connected back for black holes, which means they would lose if you connect up 3 of theirs, or they connect up 3 of theirs, or combined you do that. So on to the 27th, I played Far Away again. Alex happened to win on his first game with a score of 79 points, which was ridiculous. Playing as a 3 with my French copy of With Endless River, which again is now out of print. It was a limited edition. You can only get the red edition whenever that gets remade. Also the Faceless Amusement Park. So this is a prototype version of what was going on the Kickstarter, which is now funded, as well as The King and Me, which Julia happened to win playing as a 3. And The King and Me happens to be a game very like Biblios, whereby you are playing out cards, looking to have the majority of the cards, and you can influence the values as well. So it's a very clever game by Steve Finn. I've got videos out there too, as well as for Similio, again playing the Lord of the Rings version. And it's interesting how one particular person had never heard of Mouth of Sauron, and they found it funny enough that we happened to have this card called Mouth of Sauron. Of course, there is actually Mouth of Sauron in the books, or book, of course, broken into multiple parts of a book because it's just so big. However, in the film, you won't see it unless you see a second extended edition. So there's the extended edition, and I think the extra extended, and even then, it might be a deleted scene. Also playing Betrayal at House on the Hill 3rd edition, which is nice and swift, and it did tick along in under 90 minutes. That was nice. However, the components are definitely still not great like the 2nd edition as well. So more games of Betrayal, as well as Phantom Inc. was about to get started, but alas, we didn't end up getting a game with that in, as well as Cryptid. So we had a few games of Cryptid, and Cryptid is a game whereby you are looking to deduce one location. It's a very clever design of something on the map. Now, Cryptid is basically a word to do with anything that is mythological creatures in origin. So Cryptid as in it's cryptic, and it's some kind of animal, and I guess even crypt ID maybe is how the word came about. And you are always having to either put down a marker to say, well, it's not here, or something where it might be. But however, if you're wanting to guess where you think the place is, then you have to actually give other information away as well. So I've heard people can win it on their first turn or second turn. I happened to win it on my first turn, thankfully. But yeah, it's a very nice game. And coming back to Phantom Inc., it's a game whereby you're again trying to deduce and figure out and help your teammate without getting your opponents to understand what word you're trying to sort of telepathically communicate to them, but you do have paper and pen to do so. So also Betrayal at the House on the Hill, that is all about, it's a cooperative dungeon crawl game, but halfway through there'll be a haunt, and there'll be a traitor. And again, you're trying to make sure, obviously, you don't win. You win, of course, and the traitor doesn't win, so you're going to work together at that point. But until that point, you don't know who the traitor is. Also, to Wanted Soyu, I happened to win in this the Incan Empire game, another game by Terzi behind Nucleum, and other games that I've got on the channel, such as Roman Roll, which is a very heavy roll and write game. And in this particular game, you have a number of characters, little meeple things, and what they represent is they are looking to go on the board, and wherever they go next to, they get a bonus. And you're trying to chain that together, and it does take some time, but on the second round, it's a lot quicker. And people say, all right, let's end off the second round. And then I happen to hear people saying, oh, well, hang on, at the end of the third round, well, let's go another round. I said, no, you can't do that. So more Atlantic Rising, more Nucleum, which I mentioned before, more time stories again. So playing that again, which was nice, but it turned out that playing as a 2, it's almost as long as playing as a 3. Not quite, it's still about an hour quicker, but there's a lot of stuff still to go through potentially, but still very enjoyable, and looking forward to playing more of the expansions for that. Aside from that, Caught in a Horror, which I've mentioned before, so check out the video for that. A sort of economic game whereby you are looking to either build more buildings or start mining. And either way, you can get some resources and you're trying to connect up certain things together. And April, where you're looking to, again, improve your workers. So similar to other games I've mentioned in this episode about, looking to improve stuff. Whereas Far Away, I guess you do improve, because I can play more of that as well. This is on the 30th of October now. And you're looking to go on that journey and do the best you can, because if you happen to go higher in value, then again you can get a bonus, which is kind of like a form of improvement, as well as Forest Shuffle. So finally played this in person, and that was really good to try out, and very much enjoyed that. So that was a really good explanation of seeing how on earth can you chain together various cards to get the best combination in your forest. So you need to get forest cards out first, and on your turn either getting 2 cards from the clearing or 2 from the deck, or a mix of the 2, and then choose to go out there and play a card, paying its costs, and then trying to see what synergizes best with it. Aside from that, Aldabastor's a Cartagena, finally playing it as a 2. It's a sleeved copy, so check out my sleeving playlist over on YouTube. And it works fine. It's quick. It takes about under 15 minutes to play, including a teach. And it's a game whereby you are looking to, again, get the majority. You're trying to get the majority on 5 different sets to get the most points, depending on how certain things work. But very enjoyable. And on to Tuesday, played some more Battle of Britain. I won game 2, and then Mike won game 3. So game 2 was called Evacuation of Dunkirk, and game 3 was called When Bombs First Fell. Both extremely close. I happened to lose a game, even though I happened to not only get 3 successful die rolls and therefore eliminate those cards from my opponent's hand, they still happened to just about econ to a win. I'm very looking forward to playing that again, actually. I very liked that mission in particular, where they're just trying to get across the board. It's very cool. So aside from that, I played some more The Great British Film Quiz. Mike happened to win on that occasion. And then as of the 1st November, some more games of Orion Duel, some games of Hive. I had an abstract afternoon with my uncle. So Hive is a game whereby you're looking to surround the opponent's Queen Bee, and in the first 4 moves you must bring out your Queen Bee, but you have other insects that you can help along the way, or arachnids in this case. There's a spider that can use 3 spaces, an ant that can move as far as it likes, a grasshopper that leaps over any known, pieces in that hive that it's touching, so it has to go in a straight line. And you also have the beetle, which can go up above as well. So that's some examples of some of the pieces. I personally don't like the PLM element, which is playing with a pillbug, mosquito, etc. I just don't think it's necessary, the ladybird. Also Uptown, so again, all these videos on the channel. This is a game whereby it's a tower building game. It's actually my Uncle Bob beat me at it, Uncle Robert, because it's again looking at majority out of 7. You're putting pieces of other pieces, but you've always got to start the base, and the bag is used as the board. Mamalath didn't get any pictures over on Instagram for this one, unfortunately, on this occasion, but I've made lots before. Again, which I've played over 300 times. It's a game which only takes 2 or so minutes, where the winning condition is a subset of the losing condition. A game that was implemented from an AI designed game from a number of years ago by Grant Fikes over in America, made by Nestor Games over in Spain. It's a game whereby you are loggers looking to put out flags in the forest, but not where animals are. So trying to get N in a row, in this case 3, but not where the animals are. If you put N in a row and it's where the animals are, then you lose. But if the animals were not there, then you win. Also some games of Hnefatafels, introducing the concept of asymmetric games here. This is a game from about the 14th century, maybe slightly earlier than chess. Very much enjoy this one. And again, I played quite a number of games of that too. Also, cellulose. So just Hnefatafel is a game whereby you kind of surround the opponent or break past the opponent is basically how it works. You have a different number of pieces. So Cellulose is a game, it's a worker placement game. It's very much like Cytosis, also by Genius Games, which is again itself very much like Lords of Waterdeep. A very simple worker placement game. However, there's no dice, unlike another simple worker placement game, which is fantastic, which is Stone Age. But like Stone Age, they both have cards, and you use those cards to maybe get some bonuses. So I actually happen to lose by a couple of points due to those bonuses on some of the cards, looking to get various resources, get either improving income by going up the stem, up the chute, which means during the sunrise phase, which is basically the income phase, you get more CO2. If you go into the roots, you get more water. And then on an action turn, you can actually spend those to get, so what's it called? Basically you're photosynthesizing during the daytime phase to get carbohydrates, and you do get carbohydrates, gives you points for going along the cell wall, which is an endgame trigger because when the cell wall is completed, we get points for doing so, and they kind of decline, then they go up again. But you can also spend those cellulose or those carbohydrates points as well to do other things, such as making the plant healthy, and whoever's made the plant the healthiest wins. But you have your own you don't have your own board, but you do have your own kind of cards in your display that you're keeping track of, and you have a track around the side of the board, a Kramer track, to keep track of how many points you have. So on Halloween, actually just after Halloween, the 2nd of November, I played Don't Go In There, which is a game by the Cryptid guys over at R2I. And this is a game whereby you're trying to get like reverse set collection. You're trying to get stuff to then lose more of the same type, which is a concept I'm still not quite grasping, but I do understand it a little bit. Also now boarding, so I got this game from SPIEL.digital, so check out my videos over there on YouTube, and that is to do with another cooperative Burgle Bros like game from Tim Fowers. So Fowers designed it by AmassGames, and you're trying to do is real-time cooperation of getting passengers around, I guess, America. So Hadrian's Wall is another game I've played. Now this is a game whereby it's pretty much a solo game, but I've played it as a 2 a couple of times. And it's a game whereby you're trying to cross things off by getting resources. It gives you more stuff, which lets you do other stuff too, with some various objectives that you're uniquely going to have. So I appreciate it. I've only played digitally so far, but I look forward to trying it out in real life. Again, I might just prefer it in person, and it seems lots of people seem to like the variety it does provide. Other people are saying that it's a bit too samey. So more games on the 3rd of November of Orion Duel, Nucleum, and more Orion Duel, and on the 4th, which was today, I played some games of Crypt, which you can see in my video for as well. Happened to win on that one, although I'm pretty much going to lose another game of it, whereby you're almost pressing your luck as to really wanting a card, but if it's kind of double press your luck. You want to go somewhere, but if you go somewhere, you risk not going somewhere else, and actually if you want to go where you are, wherever you're going, you need to roll high enough. If you don't roll high enough, then you run the risk of not getting the dice, and therefore losing them, which means you spend a turn getting them back. And you have 1 to 3, so do you want to try and get 1 back, or wait until you have 2 or 3 that you've lost to get them back, be more efficient. Also 12 Chip Trick. Now this sold out at SPIEL.digital by Mandu Games, which I didn't really notice or spot, but it's on Board Game Arena. Very fascinating to play. It's a lovely, swift, trick-taking game that I definitely want to try and get some 3D printed pieces of. I know people are paying twice the cost, apparently it was, at SPIEL.digital. It's just 12 chips, 6 are black, 6 are red. The middle values are red, I believe. And yes, and what you're looking to do, place a value in, and if you happen to play the highest value, then you take one of the chips of your choice. However, you must take red first. And at the end of the round, when someone's got 4 chips, you reveal, because if you win, they're face up. If you don't win, they go back to the opponent. But the whole point is you're trying to play in such a scenario whereby you have your total value is under 21. That is the game, and you win a round if you happen to do so, if you have the highest value, which is under 21. If not, you won't, and therefore if you then win 3 in a row, or total of 3 wins, then you win the game. And that's it. So again, another brief episode. Again, that episode going out, which is an interview, will be very interesting to hear. And any questions, do let me know in the comments best in that guild about any questions. There's also obviously the Spotify element as well. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the science behind cellulose and bringing that video out this month. And more stuff from Undaunted will be out this week too. But for now, I think that's pretty much it, and back to the table.